Alright, what's up everyone? So today we're going to be looking at Claude Code 101 hooks, and I'll add the link in the description so you can follow along. So let's learn this. Alright, right off the bat they hit us with the video, but as you already know, we're just going to read the description first and then look at the video. Alright, hooks. Hooks lets you run commands at specific points in Claude Code's lifecycle. The key difference between hooks and everything else covered in this course is that hooks are deterministic, which means they always run. All right. So why use hooks? You can tell Claude in your Claude.md to run prettier after every file edit. I think prettier is pretty much just helps you format like your code so that it's aligned properly and all that. Most of the time it will, but sometimes it won't. A hook makes it happen every single time, no exceptions. So I guess a hook is like basically something that you want to, like they just said, something that you want to run after certain things happen. Like maybe after Claude finished doing something, or maybe after I send a prompt, something like that. Common use cases include, auto formatting after file edits, logging all executed commands for compliance, blocking dangerous operations like modifying production files, sending yourself notifications when Claude finishes a task. So these are all the common use cases you could use hooks for. All right, so this is how they work. Hooks are configured in your settings.json. You pick an event, optionally set a matcher for which tools it applies to, then provide a command to run. The available events are, so these are the events that we can fire hooks based on. So pre-tool use, so runs before a tool call. Okay, so we could do some before a tool call is done by using this one. Post tool call, we could do some after a tool call is run. User prompt submit, runs when you submit a prompt before Claude processes it. So as runs when you submit so after I submit a prompt, I could set up a hook to do something right after, and this will happen before Claude processes it. Or before Claude gives us a response. Stop runs when Claude finishes responding. Okay, so when we ask Claude for something, we could have a hook set up to do something after that. And then notification runs when Claude sends a notification. And you get the point with the hooks. You configure them through the hooks command inside Claude Code or by editing settings.json directly. Practical example. The most common hook, auto formatting after edits, set a post tool use hook with a matcher of edit, multi-edit, and write, so it fires whenever Claude modifies a file. The command checks the file extension and runs the appropriate formatter. Prettier for TypeScript, Go FMT for Go, whatever your project uses. Okay, let's read this one more time. The most common hook, auto formatting after edits, set a post tool use hook with a matcher of edit, multi-edit, write, so it fires whenever Claude modifies a file. Okay, now that makes sense. The command checks the file extension and runs the appropriate formatter, and these are different formatters. Sometimes you just gotta reread it, or at least I have to reread it just to make sure I get it. And then it's a blocking with pre-tool use. Pre-tool use hooks can block tool calls before they execute. Your hook receives the tool name and inputs as JSON on stdin. The exit code determines the behavior. Exit code 0 means proceed normally. Exit code 2, block the action. The stdin message gets fed back to Claude as feedback, so it knows why it was blocked and can adjust. Any other exit code, a non-blocking error that gets shown to you but doesn't stop anything. All right, so pre-tool use hooks, again, I'm going back up here because I didn't fully get that. So pre-tool use hooks can block tool calls, all right, before they execute. Your hook receives a tool name and input as JSON and stdin, and the exit code determines the behavior, and these are different ones. All right, this is how you enforce hard rules. Block writes to a production config directory. Block bash commands that contain rm-rf. Block commits to main. Okay. Whatever your team needs to be guaranteed, not suggested. And I guess this is how they're using it. Didn't 100% get that, but maybe once you watch a video, that'll make that more cemented. All right, so sharing hooks with your team. Hooks configured in .Claude settings.json are project level and can be checked into your repo. This means your entire team gets the same hooks automatically. Use the Claude project dir environment variable in your command to reference scripts stored in your project, so they work regardless of Claude's current working directory. Alright, so recap. Hooks give you deterministic control over Claude Code's behavior. Use post-tool use for auto-formatting and logging. Use pre-tool use to block dangerous operations. Configure them with hooks or in settings.json. And check them into your repo so your team gets them too. If something needs to happen every time without fail, don't put it in a prompt, put it in a hook. Okay, cool. All right, so let's play this.
Hooks let you run commands at different points and
that's his name, Louis Manylaws. This dude is a Claude Code guy because he's done every tutorials video so far. Big up, man. Yeah. All right. And I feel like that was a decent thing. I feel like we have a good idea. So hooks, basically, you can set up a hooks to have something run after certain things happen, like after Claude gives us back feedback or before it gives us back feedback or notifications. We can have some pretty much run right after those things happen from Claude. So that's decent. All right. And honestly, people, I don't know if you know this, but that was the last course in Claude Code 101 for us to do. So in the next one, we'll actually go over the quiz and we're going to do it together. But stay tuned and remember the motto: anyone can learn anything with time, practice, and failures. It's the nerdy Yardie, and I'm out.